Welcome back to 3D Dialogue. I'm Jesse Hirsch. The topic is shamanism, and we're in studio with Martha Lucier, the co-founder of the Northern Edge Algonquin Retreat Center. Now, perhaps we could start explicitly by talking about your retreat center. Perhaps you could tell us a bit more about the work you do there, but also the benefit that it has in terms of the practice of shamanism.
Okay. Well, our retreat center, let's see, our focus and our intention with our retreat center is to connect people and nature. So we do that in a whole variety of ways. We do that through sea kayaking experiences called Quest for Balance. It's a yoga and sea kayaking. We bring people on canoe trips into Algonquin Park to learn about the wolves and the moose. We have women's programming such as Running with Wolves, Women's Retreat where people connect with their wild women. We have all sorts of ways in which we connect people in nature. Our most intimate way we connect people is through shamanism. That is anywhere from a basic shamanism retreat where we learn how to journey to a vision quest into Algonquin Park, a 5-day vision quest where people are learning to use nature as a mirror to look within themselves. We also work with all kinds of groups. We work with school groups, ecotourism, leadership type programming, as well as corporate groups and team building and helping people find their real passion, their mission, and their gifts within themselves, and ultimately helping them to see that they're intimately connected with the earth and all of the elements.
And I mean, it's interesting the centrality of nature within the shamanistic practices. Does that preclude the practicing of shamanism within the urban environment, given how scarce, shall we say, that nature tends to be within the city?
One can connect with nature no matter where you are. Even a blade of grass or a flower. I invite people and to whatever they can do to get outside. Get outside and enjoy, breathe the air. The elements are all in and around us at all times, and that is what we need to do. That is what all of us need to do.
Get in touch with nature, especially perhaps within the megalopolis type environment that many of us live.
And I believe that we're starved of that. And it's a...
Now, you know, before the break, you mentioned within the journey that often there are psychoactive substances such as peyote that are used. Is this necessary in terms of going this journey, or is it possible to do it without consuming these types of substances?
It's absolutely not necessary. In fact, there has been research done that has found that the beat of a drum has the same effect as some of these herbs do. And, you know, quite honestly, one can travel quite far and get the same result just with the beat of a drum, and it's much safer.
Now, I mean, explicitly on the topic of safety, are there ever any dangers in terms of when people go on these journeys that they may not either find that it may not take the direction they intended, or perhaps may have difficulty coming back? Are there perhaps safety precautions that are taken to ensure that these are safe experiences? Well,
this is a question that often comes up in the teachings, in the classes that we offer, and in classes that I have taken. And it is important, my understanding is it is important to have someone guiding and supporting you on your journey. And there are times that we come across things that might scare us in a journey. And from my experience and from my teacher's experience, there is nothing really that can harm us in a journey. However, there can be some challenging lessons along the way.
And as you said, it brings out the importance of having someone as a companion to sort of look out for you and take care of you.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I've developed at our retreat center is I'm teaching a 2-year advanced training in shamanism, where these are people from all over Ontario that come to participate. And we meet 4 times a year for 2 years. And the intention behind it, besides learning about shamanism and deepening our practice, is to create a support system so that after the program is complete, they have that support system within one another, because that is what really assists us along the way.
Building a community of practitioners.
Absolutely, but it can be a lonely path,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
it's important to have others to connect with and that understand.
Well, and as we mentioned, you know, shamanism has existed for centuries and millennia even.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that there's now a resurgence of shamanism, that people are more and more taking interest in taking up the practice?
Well, we're certainly seeing that at our retreat center, and I think across the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think my understanding is that it's due to the fact that that many people are feeling the need to reconnect with the earth, and this is one of the ways.
Through living in urban centers, perhaps.
Yeah, but this is one of the ways in which we traditionally connected with the spirit that lives in all things, in the water, in the air, in the earth itself. And I think that we're all desiring to do that, and shamanism is one way in which we can reconnect.
Mm-hmm. Well, and as you mentioned, you know, perhaps in the past the shaman would go and look, let's say, for hunters to find where the pack is. Is the analogy appropriate in terms of our society, that one can go on this journey to find where employment is or to find other aspects?
Absolutely. This is one way in which I came to be where I am at, is through the shamanic journey, and
Interesting.
and helping me discover what my passion is and where it is that I needed to share that passion and what that exactly looked like.
I'm afraid we're out of time, but this has been a fascinating journey, if you will, to look at shamanism. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for the opportunity.
That was Martha Lucier, co-founder of the Northern Edge Algonquin Retreat Center. Next, we'll tell you how to get in contact with us. Please stay tuned.